We are live, going live on day 2 of the 10,000 copies book launch system, day 2. And we have On the Flaw who's joined. Welcome. We are early because I learned a lesson yesterday. Hey, Sharon. Sharon Larson is on. That when I start this at exact time, there's definitely a lag for those who want to join live on Substack. So we're starting this live. So you guys are early, and we will officially get started at 12. But for now, y'all are early. So um, we are going to start entertaining some questions. We got Hugh on, which is awesome. So this is a meeting. Really all about helping business authors find success, especially for those who have tried looking for success in the past. They want to grow their business and get their message out with their book, but they're struggling to find their things that work. So, how many of you guys currently are business authors or want to be business authors, or maybe you guys a just some kind of how-to book or nonfiction book that you guys have been wanting to write about or have been thinking about writing? Asta is on, which is really great. And maybe we don't even have to talk about that. We can also talk about really um anything that's on your mind. So we can talk about that as well. So if you guys are thinking about that, we can talk about the weather. So first of all, like, the weather here is really bad. It's like, well, actually it's not bad, but it's freaking cold here. Let's just say that. And I've been told so I have a niece who's like 2 years old, and now she's starting to imitate words that we're saying. And so the other day she was saying, "Oh shit." And so I've been told that I can't say freaking anymore because that can lead to another bad word. So when I say it's freaking cold, I have to now say I can't say that anymore. I have to say it's really cold. How about that? So it's really cold here. Okay, so we are getting close to showtime, folks. And y'all are on the live, so I'm going to now focus on that and monitoring the chat here. So here we go. Join Zoom. Okay.
Recording in progress.
All right, we got this going. Okay, we got Zoom going. We got Substack going. Great. We're going to pull up the slides. Day 2. Awesome. Present. Full screen. Okay, here we go. We got Sarah on. Hi, Sarah. All right. So, approve. Of course, as per usual. All right. All right. So, introduce yourselves if y'all want to. I don't bite, I promise. Or my bite, I don't bite hard. And yeah, just here to hang out and see what's on y'all's minds. While we get people coming in for day 2 of the 10,000 copies book launch system. Right. So nobody. Apparently everyone has 0 thoughts on their mind. Okay. That's totally fine. That is totally fine. Got some water here. Yesterday I didn't have any water, so I was like, by the end I was coughing up a desert. Wow, so good. It's the little things. Okay. Rachel's on. Wowza, we got Rachel. Hi, Rachel. Welcome. We are so happy you're here. Yeah. Woohoo. Okay, nice. And we're gonna get started at 12. So we're just hanging out here until then. And y'all are early. Rachel says, hi, thank you. Yes, for sure. For sure. All right. And Rachel, if you have, I know this information will be really pertinent to you and your client. So if you have any questions or anything that's immediately coming up for you, feel free to put them in the chat, and let's hope the chat works better than it did yesterday, and we'll make sure that we get those answered here. So I'm monitoring the Zoom chat, Substack live chat. We got several chats going, so let me know. Feel like I'm at like one of those like entertainers like at a Vegas show where it's like, oh shoot, the magician is like temporarily caught in like the tank, so I have to like come out and like the curtain is closed, and I'm like, okay everyone, look over here, entertainment, while everything gets put together in the background while the hamsters are busy cycling away in the background. Naz is on, the insightful confidant. Welcome. Welcome. Okay, it is officially 12. So I'm just gonna get started because I can't wait. I can't hold it in any longer. So guys, welcome to, and Zoom is recording, so this is great. So I'm recording for the recording and recording also for the Substack Live. So welcome to day 2 of our 3-day workshop called the 10,000 Copies book launch system. And this is really special for business authors because a lot of business authors want the fame, they want the fortune, they want an impact, they want to help people, they want to get the message out there. And it seems like such a common problem where people are working with bad marketers or glorified graphic designers or publishers who don't help them, and they end up with a book that doesn't really do anything. And one of my clients, Amy Sudo, she had a book that also didn't do as well as she hoped. And now her second book that we worked on together is now officially in the top 4,000 books in the entire world. So, oh my gosh. So, this does not apply to fiction, by the way. This doesn't apply to comic books. I wish it doesn't. So, this really only applies to nonfiction, and especially for business authors. You guys are going to love this because it shows you how to direct your readers into higher value offers so you can help more people. And let's be real, let's go to be honest, actually get paid money, the money that actually helps you live and survive in this world and pay your bills from your business. So, day 2. So what's day 2 all about? So here's a statistic for you guys. 94% of books, I would say, in my opinion, and you can ask a lot of other business authors, flop. All right. That's a lot. So I think the statistic is 6% of books published every year actually sell more than 1,000 copies per year, which is actually it's not even like that much. I mean, it's like a steady amount of sales. And even if you sell 1,000 copies a year, if you work with a publisher or hybrid publisher, they can at any point decide that we're going to take your book out of print. If your book doesn't do that well, and all of a sudden the book that you worked so hard on is now no longer available for anybody. So why does this happen? Why aren't books selling? And I mean, naturally there's like supply and demand, but we're going to talk about why books flop, especially when it comes down to self-publishing, because at the end of the day, everything really is down to your responsibility. Okay, we're not going to be blaming your publisher. We're not blaming some marketer that you hired. Okay, we're just taking responsibility for what you did, and so we're going to find out what to do about it. All right, so again, in these 3 days. So yesterday we talked about your magnetic origin story and how to tell it in a way that is authentically and authoritatively you. All right. Now, today we're talking about the 4 reasons why your book will flop. Very likely your book will flop or did flop, right? Like many of us have published books in the past and they did not do nearly as well as we thought that they would. And we're going to talk about the 4 reasons why that happens, the 4 major ones. And then tomorrow we're going to be going into detail about the 10,000 copies book launch system. We're going to go into how it works, what to do, and when so that you can have results like Amy's and actually grow your Substack from your book or grow your business from your book and finally feel like you're feeling successful. Okay. So, again, caveat, disclaimer who this is for. This is for intermediate to advanced digital marketers. I'm not going to tell you how to make your first post online. I'm not sharing with you how to grow your Substack online. I am teaching you fairly intermediate to advanced level skills. I expect you to already know how to be a copywriter. I expect you to already know how to be launching things. I already expect you to know how to do you have a base level of digital marketing experience. And your book is only going to amplify that even further. All right. Number two, you want to become the authority in your space. You're kind of tired of just kind of being in obscurity, and you're just like, I'm ready. I'm ready for that Facebook message when a podcast host comes to me finally and says, I want you on my podcast because I saw your book on Amazon. Wouldn't that be amazing? By the way, that happened to me, and that can happen to you too. Number three, you want to launch a successful book. And by the way, everyone has a different definition of success, but you know what success means to you, right? And for some reason, you're watching this because you have not achieved that. You don't have that yet. Oh, we got 5 participants. Who are these people? Oops, sorry. Um, where we got Anita. Oh, shoot. Sorry, y'all. Um, we got Anita, we got Kevin. Okay, hey guys. I didn't see my thing was off. So welcome to day 2. Hi Anita, hi Kevin. Um, so I'm going to be monitoring the chat. So we got that going. We got Soli as well. So awesome. Um, all right, chat says, Kevin says, hey, all right, hey. Okay. All right, one new. Hi. Okay, here we go. Okay, number 4. This works really well for people who are ready to take personal responsibility for your results. And just to be perfectly honest with you, I'm kind of tired of people who are like tell me that they have all these problems and then they're saying like it was my publisher's fault or it was my marketer's fault. And I'm like, if you only knew whose fault it actually was. It's yours. Okay. Let's just be real. It's yours because you are outsourcing your power. You are outsourcing everything to someone else when you're the one who has the power. There's that quote in fitness that says the world, it doesn't get easier. You take responsibility. You're the one who gets stronger. And I'm here to tell you, I'm going to show you how to get stronger. This is your gym. This is your gym to become responsible for yourself and your results. All right. So here we freaking go. So you guys are going to need, again, something to take notes with. And I want you to shut off distractions, be present, be here, put your phone away, close your tabs. I'm here for you and would love the reciprocal nature. So let's talk about, again, the curse of success. So this is common with a lot of entrepreneurs who have achieved great heights. Like, for example, Amy here, who is a 7-figure ghostwriter. And she has built a huge social media following, especially on TikTok, where she had 45,000 TikTok followers who were, at beck and call, hearing about her, following her, listening to her. But when it comes to launching a book, a lot of authors who are entrepreneurs and they think that, okay, I know I've been successful up to here, and they just do what they've always done with their book. They don't sometimes they don't really find the success that they want to. And that is what I'm trying to get at here. This is the problem. This is the common problem I see, is that what worked for you to get you here is not going to help you get there. All right. So again, why did this happen? Why did Amy, who had 45,000 followers, engaged, focused, right? Like we always talk about marketing, engagement, focused, she even had that and it still didn't work. Why did that happen? Because she marketed her book like a brand. Because she wanted to use social media she posted her book to social media and hope for the best, and it didn't work. We want to be marketing our book not like a brand, but we want to market it like a product. A product. And we started talking about this yesterday about what is required to launch a successful product. We talked about Beyonce's hair care line and how there was a runway. There was a runway before the product went out to the public, where during the runway, there was a preparation period. It's like when you're flying from Atlanta to London and you're about to take off. There is that runway. The airplane is on a runway. It's on a runway, and then it takes off. But during the runway, there's all this preparation that's needed, and we will talk about that as well. So again, the four most common mistakes that successful entrepreneurs make when they're launching their books. Let's get into it. So, number one, of course, we just talked about this. You marketed your book like your brand. And we talked about how when Beyonce launched Sacred, during that runway period when it seemed like nothing was happening, she was doing something. She was sending out samples. She was sending out tests. She was testing the market and saying, hey, do you like this? Hey, do you like this? Hey, or what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And the product wasn't available to the wider public yet. It was only available to a test segment, right? And this is, some people call it pre-gaming a product. People have different ways to talk about this, but we want to do this for your book as well. Before your book actually goes live to the public, you have developed what's called we call it an ARC reader team. So Lee here, our assistant here, our amazing assistant, she used to work at Penguin Random House, and they are all about the advanced reader team. They're like a focus group. They get the first copy of the book and they tell you this sucked or it was amazing, so that when the book actually goes live to the public, they're ready to leave that 5-star review, so that, when Beyonce showed up and said, hey, Ulta, my hair care line is ready to go, and there are 18,000 5-star reviews already, that is available for you. When I launched my book, Harvesting Rainwater for Your Homestead, we had 100 reviews in 10 days. And that's when the wider public says, wow, what book is this? It already has social proof. And that's what we want you to focus on. Not if you're sending traffic to your book and it has 0 reviews or even 20 reviews. When was the last time you bought something on Amazon that had 20 reviews? Come on, people, let's be real, right? You want at least 100 before things really start taking off, all right? Are there any questions in the chat? So Lee says, especially important for unknown authors. Absolutely. And let's be real here. We're not Oprah, okay? We have made a lot of impact for a lot of people, but we're not Oprah. We're not authority figures. We are not yet, okay? We're not yet. So to get to that point, even Beyonce has to work to get reviews, okay? If Beyonce's doing that, so are we, okay? You get what I'm saying? Okay, problem number 2. Your publisher didn't market your book. And this is a common problem I hear about a lot. I'm talking to people all the time and they're like, I'm asking them, what happened? What happened? What happened? And a lot of people say, well, my publisher didn't know what they were doing, or they didn't give me a launch strategy, or my publisher just hired a glorified graphic designer and they made some posts on social media and my book didn't sell like I thought it would. And so let's get really clear again on the roles of what is required of you, the author, versus the publisher. So I want to be very clear what a publisher does. And so a lot of people think that if they get a publishing deal, that they can just sit back and relax. That the publishing deal is the thing that saves them. So I like to compare this to the music industry. So, in country music, a lot of people are in Nashville and they really want to get the music deal because they think that as soon as they get the record deal, everything will be solved. And that couldn't be further from the truth. One of my favorite country artists, Lainey Wilson, when she said that she got the record deal, she said that that's when the work began. That's when everything accelerates. That's when she had to start working even more. Because let's be real about what the publisher does versus what you need to be doing. So the publisher, and this is a traditional publisher, this is their role. It's like a record producer. They are simply, what their work is doing is helping you project manage. They're packaging your book. They're helping you design your cover. They're helping you put a title together. They're paying you, they'll give you an advance against your future book sales to help you do that. And they're saying, here's an exchange. This is how our business model works. We want your manuscript. You've already done the work in the manuscript, and now we want the rights to sell your book so that we can make money off of your royalties, right? And that's how the music industry works. That's how the book industry works. However, you still handle the marketing. Let's look down here. You still handle the marketing, and really successful authors are really savvy at marketing. I like to think of like Taylor Swift, who is, by the way, an indie artist right now, but she has owned her marketing. And because she owns her marketing, she is really successful. Lainey Wilson, one of the top country artists right now, she has a record deal. So she's technically what's like traditionally published. She has been working her ass off on social media. She's been getting brand deals. She's been on Yellowstone. She's getting covers on Country Living and all that. All this is to market her brand. She has gotten really savvy at marketing, and because of that, her brand benefits from that. It's not because I don't know what deal she's on, or does anyone else know? Colin's on. If anyone else knows, they're not doing most of the work for her. She's doing most of the work. Okay. And so when it comes to self-publishing, you still handle all the marketing, yes, but you own all the rights to sell your intellectual property. That's why. So Valerie is on. Valerie, that's why she decided to self-publish. That's why Amy decided to self-publish. That's why I encourage almost all entrepreneurs to self-publish, because at the end of the day, what is the most important thing in your intellectual property is the right to sell it, is your opportunity to sell it, right? So there's no barrier to entry. You're managing the project. There's no advance, but there's a higher royalty percentage. So there's more like upfront costs. Hey, Valerie. But you still handle the marketing, right? So that's the common thread here. Anita says, so why do authors choose to pursue traditional publishing rather than self-publishing or independent publishing? And that's such a great question. So this is a common debate. Those rights and royalties is why I like to see self-publishing as independent publishing. Absolutely. In fact, I like to call self-publishing as full rights publishing. Like, nobody got to tell me what to do. Yes, independent, self-publishing. Yeah, and it is like, and I'm like, yes, of course. Um, because yeah, so traditional publishing, and this is the common debate, right? Like, if you're as successful as Taylor Swift, it just makes sense to be an indie artist, and she's an indie artist. A lot of people have this identity feeling of, well, I'm not successful. I need to borrow the prestige of Penguin Random House. I want to borrow the prestige of Simon and Schuster so that I can feel like I'm getting somewhere. They feel validated. I'm just going to be real here. I'm just going to be honest. Like, there's a prestige element to traditional publishers, and that's why a lot of authors choose to go with traditional, because it kind of feels like you get to be validated a little bit, right? That yes, you got the book deal. Yes, you got the record deal. Yes, someone said yes to you. Um, and Anita says, yes, it's perceived prestige and the hope that the traditional publisher will market the book. Essentially, it's ego. Ooh, 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 ooh. I didn't say this. Anita said it. Anita Henderson, really good book coach who helped one of my friends, John Ray. So Anita's an amazing book coach, and she is saying this. She helped my friend John Ray publish one of my favorite books of last year, The Generosity Mindset. And she's saying this, not me. Essentially, it's ego. Yeah, I'm gonna say this right now. Like, it kind of is. And Anita says, thanks for the kudos. Absolutely. And there's technically nothing wrong, right? Like, it's nothing wrong or right. But like, you're just gonna get it from me, folks. Like, I believe in self-publishing. I believe that it's worth making yourself such an amazing marketer that you don't need someone to say yes to you. You're the one who says yes to yourself, and it's been worth it. Like, um, I got a traditional publishing house, they offered to buy my brand, and I said no to them because my book has made over six figures and they offered me $2,000. And I was like, no. Okay. So I'm the one who's in control. I'm the one who owns it. I'm the one who loves what I'm doing and gets to own everything and do whatever I want to do with it. And that's what you get to have too with full rights publishing, aka self-publishing, aka indie publishing. All right. So again, either way, you own the marketing, right? And if you own the marketing, then so there's like a wrong way to have a book launch, right? And when it comes to your book, so there's a wrong way, and it's like you just, you have your social media and you just post to your social media and you're like, yes, please just take off. And it doesn't, and you end up becoming like this guy on the left we have all encountered him at every networking event we've been at, and he's just like, buy my book, please buy my book. And you're just like, ew, get away from me. Like, I do not want to buy your book. Like, you end up becoming your book's employee. You're hustling. You're like, please buy my book. Please buy my book. Please buy it. Okay. And that is the wrong way. We don't want to be like that. Like Amy right now, she is the top 4,000 books right now because she's attracting people to buy her book, right? And she's done that with the right way, which is to create a flywheel effect with a book launch. And what is a flywheel? A flywheel is a mechanism. We have this little graphic here that is a sewing machine. And a flywheel is a machine that you have to put some energy into it, all right? And it's going to feel like you're putting energy into it until there's this critical moment where it starts to take off on its own and it actually gets easier and easier and easier with every single rotation. And Valerie here says you have a great proven system. And yes, it is. It is. It's a repeatable system that has been repeated and shown with 50,000 other authors. And I used it, my friends have used it, my clients have used it. We're all using this now, and it's now showing to be very effective. All right. So if you use the flywheel book launch method, you get the opportunity so that 5 to 10 years from now, people are still talking about your book without you having to be in the room, without you having to be like, please buy my book. No, people are like, did you write? Are you the author of Being is the New Doing? I heard about that book. Right? There was literally, I'm in this coaching program. This lady who was in the coaching program, she was on a plane. Someone came to her and was like, hey, are you the author of The Weekenders Club? She was like, yes, that was me. Like, that can be you with a great book launch. All right. Um, Kevin says, would love to chat with you on my podcast, Anita. Yes. Anita says 2K. What? Strategy and consistency are key for sure. Okay. Yeah, I know. $2,000. I know. I was like, no. Okay. So here's the good news. So Valerie says, yes, I am the writer of Being is the New Doing. Yes, you are, girl. So Valerie says you have a great proven system. And yes, Amazon is a repeatable science. Whoa, thank gosh, right? Like, phew, what a relief. That Amazon is a platform. It's a public platform, actually very similar to Google. It's very similar to YouTube, where there's hamsters running in the background who are running an algorithm, right? And they're presenting products, videos, search engine results to someone in the search bar, right? Amazon is a search engine just like Google, just like YouTube. And when someone is searching for a book or something on a how to, or like, how to run my business with less hustle, and we can game it with SEO. We can use special techniques. We can use special an order of operations. It's repeatable. It's predictable, such that your book shows up and pops up with those search engine terms. And also, even if people aren't searching for your book, they might be searching for books related to yours. Well, perfect. Your book if it's related, we can also get it to show up with other books that are related to it. It's actually a lot of fun. And you'll find out how you can find people who were looking for a book like yours who didn't know that it was who didn't have never heard of yours, but they end up buying it. And because we have developed a proper book funnel for your book, they end up joining your email list and joining your Substack. Amy, Amy has people not joining her Substack because of it. All right. So here is the formula, right? So here's what it is. If you can get 500 downloads of your book and 100 reviews in the first 30 days on Amazon, this is what is called Amazon virality. And it's repeatable. We do it all the time. Amy is enjoying it right now. We're going to do this for Valerie in a couple weeks. It's so great. It's so repeatable. It's so predictable. And that is so reliable. So people are asking like, well, what do you mean by Amazon? Like, what do you mean like your strategy is Amazon? Is it Amazon ads? We also add Amazon ads to this as well. But Amazon, again, is a platform, and mastery of the platform. I have this picture here of Mr. Beast is a skill. Just like how Mr. Beast is now he mastered the YouTube algorithm. He's mastered YouTube. He now has a show on Amazon Prime, because he mastered the YouTube. We have mastered Amazon. And luckily it's amazing when you can master a digital platform like this. All right. Great results. Any questions in the chat? And again, oh my gosh, the comments have now disappeared again on Substack Live. So that's really annoying, but I am monitoring Zoom chat. All right. So here's what I keep hearing about publishers and agencies. All right. So a lot of people will go with like a hybrid publisher, or they'll go with like some version of an agency where they like help you like write the book, then they'll help you upload it to Amazon, and they'll help you get global distribution. Oh my gosh, it sounds so enticing, right? But here's what I hear about, and here's what I hear about what the problem with that. So some problems. They upload your book to Amazon and Ingram Spark for global distribution, and they actually fulfill on that promise. When they upload your book to Ingram Spark, anybody in the world could order it. But that doesn't mean that people are ordering it. All right, just because it's available in, at Target doesn't mean that everyone's buying up all the candy bars at Target. It's there, but people don't know about it. People don't have demand for it. All right, you don't have demand for your book, and we need to generate demand for your book. Number two, they help you launch your book on Amazon, but they poorly executed the launch. This is something I heard about from someone at the November workshop. They worked with a hybrid publisher. The hybrid publisher poorly executed the launch, and she missed her chance for #1 Amazon bestseller. And that is a total shame, because this is easy. This is easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay? So if you're working with a hybrid publisher, you need to be asking questions about them. Who have you worked with that has gotten Amazon bestseller, #1 Amazon bestseller? What's your process for helping them get there? You need to be asking these questions. Number three, the hybrid publisher or the agency, the book agency, they'll give you a date from when your book is available on Amazon. All right, I talk to a lot of people, and they're saying like, my book is going to be available on Amazon on August 3rd. And then you're like, okay, but you don't realize that there is that runway. Remember, we talked about how when you're flying from Atlanta to London, there's that period before your book goes live that you're preparing for your book to hit 3,000 feet. And 3,000 feet is the day of your book going live on Amazon, that's when your book needs to be going at 3,000 feet. But if you're not ready for that, if there's no launch strategy, you're SOL. And you need to be looking for someone to give you a launch strategy. Hello, that's what we do here. And ideally, you are self-published, but we'll talk about if you're working with a hybrid publisher, we can talk, because ultimately the best person who owns every single detail of their launch is a self-publisher. They have the most power. They're the best fit for this. But if you're working with a hybrid publisher, we can also chat. And then finally, number four, people will tell you that your book is amazing, right? But you don't know why it's not selling. And you're like, why? Okay. So we're going to talk about why. So we're going to talk about how to avoid these problems with the 10,000 copies book launch system. The exact system, we're going to go into detail of it tomorrow. We can start answering questions about it today. but it's essentially this. You are an airplane who's flying from Atlanta to London, and there's a runway. Valerie is in the chat right now. We are currently in the runway period. And on March 30th, that is when her book will be live, and that's when her book hits 30,000 feet. Okay. So if people are saying we're going to upload your book for global distribution and no one's buying it, well then I highly recommend creating demand for your book and buzz for your book during your book launch runway so that when your book does go live and is available for sale, they actually do buy it. And then you get people from India, from Australia, from the UK purchasing your book. That's how, so one of my clients, Ken, within like 2 weeks of his book being on Amazon, he got a call from the UK prison system and saying, we want your book in the UK prison system. Bada bing, bada boom. That's what we're talking about. Demand and buzz for your book before your book goes live so that it's available for global distribution. And there's also a pull. There's demand for it. Okay. Number two, hybrid publishers all the time. They help you. They say that they'll help you launch your book on Amazon. They poorly execute the launch, and so you missed your chance for #1 Amazon bestseller. And so the antidote to that is, with the 10,000 copies book launch system, you will easily hit #1 Amazon bestseller. And we have charting on Amazon down to a science, down to prediction, down to formula. It should be easy for them. And I don't know why, but it's easy for us, and we can get you there. Number three, they give you a date for when your book is available on Amazon, right? Like the hybrid publisher will say, your book is going to be available at this date, but then you're like, well, what do I do between now and then? You have no idea, right? Well, then here's what you do. You apply the 10,000 copies book launch system to your launch date so that you're prepared during that runway. Like Beyonce, like Amy, we are preparing, we're getting that focus group ready and saying we want people to be ready to leave their review and purchase your book on launch day so that you hit 30,000 feet. All right. All right. And then finally, people will tell you that your book is amazing, but you don't know why it's not selling. And here's might be why. Now, there's a lot of reasons why. Like, it's kind of like, why is my house leaking? And it could be like a million reasons why your home is leaking. But here's the good news. It might be because your title and your cover are confusing. All right. I'm going to be perfectly real with you. Too many authors choose titles for their book that they thought about in the shower, that they thought are clever, that they have not tested with their market. And so they're like, oh, I like this title. And then they find out later after the book is out that it was a confusing title. People are confused, and confused buyers don't buy. And so they're wondering, if I'm driving traffic to my book with Facebook ads, meta ads, whatever else, and people aren't buying, it might be because your book title and your book cover itself are confusing. So you might want to look at that. And we go through all of this in the coaching that we do. So Valerie and we tested her book title. She had a great idea for her book title. We went through the motion of testing it with her market, and it turns out that book title was good to go. But if we hadn't known that, her book might have actually flopped. So we want to avoid that. Okay, and then problem number 3, your title/cover are confusing, right? So here's a case study. Like, I even have suffered from this, and I had to learn from this myself. Like, the very first book I ever published was called Networking for Introverts. And apparently networking is a confusing title. I didn't know this because apparently networking can mean computer networking. It can mean like electrical networking. It can mean like also business networking. There was like many different ways that networking could be described. Did you know that? And because of that, it was confusing. And I now know this now, and I would retitle it something else later. But here's the thing, is that you need to have 100% clarity that your title and your cover will convert with your target market before your book goes live. And we do this through testing. We test your title and your cover before it goes live so that when you do drive traffic to your book, it does convert. All right. So here's the thing. All the best-selling books started with thorough understanding of the market first. The entrepreneur didn't just start word vomiting onto a Word doc and then give it a title that they thought of in the shower and they thought, oh, this will be great. No, they had complete clarity about what fonts that their target audience likes, what titles, what even the content of the book has, right? Because apparently, so you see this book on the left, this is a 6-week program. On the right, we have case studies. And your target market will define for you what your book needs to even entail. Did you know that some people prefer case studies and some people prefer 6-week programs? Did you know that? Well, the only way to know is by testing. All right. And that's what Amy did. She did a full round of beta reader testing of her book before she then sent it out for advanced reader copies. This is how Chicken Soup for the Soul, the world's first billion-dollar book brand, made every single book. They first outlined a target market. You see here like grandma soul, dog lover soul, girl soul, older and wiser, right? And then, only then, did they start gathering the content for the book. They started putting together the title, they put together the cover, and they tested every single one of these. And now their books are everywhere, right? Like they're the most famous book of the 90s. And I mean, people nowadays are like, Chicken Soup for the Soul? Like, what is that? But I remember, Pepperidge Farm remembers Chicken Soup for the Soul. And that's exactly how I did this. And fun fact, I was on a marketing call with Jack Canfield, and this is how I learned that that's how they did that. And and he was actually saying that's exactly why I'm just gonna toot my own horn because this is exactly how it works. Is that how rainwater harvesting or harvesting rainwater for your homestead or 9 days or less? That's how it did so well. Is because I um DM'd people. I was in Facebook groups. I was constantly in conversation with my target market. And that book evolved and changed, and the cover changed, and the title changed. It was all meant to help the target reader when they finally saw the book. They saw themselves in the book. They saw themselves in the title. They saw themselves in the cover. And that's why it converted so well. So, marketing is not podcast ads, Amazon, blah, blah, blah. Like that's extra. If you don't even have your book title right and your book cover right and your and the content is not what your target market wants, we got to start from square one, and that is getting 100% clear on your target market. That's exactly what we do with all clients. So Valerie's here. That's what we did with Valerie. That's what we do with Amy. We got really clear and we understood the positioning of your book against all the other similar books like yours on Amazon. So we can find the blue ocean and speak to that blue ocean on Amazon. All right. So here's a quote from Seth Godin, right? Seth Godin, marketing wizard. Don't find customers for your products. Find products for your customers. What does that mean? That many entrepreneurs go through life and a ton of shit, like entrepreneurs, they go through all sorts of stuff. And so they want to write a book about it. And then they think, oh, okay, so I'm just going to start word vomiting onto a Word doc, not realizing that there's all these, there's all this, we're reverse engineering the product for the customer. And we got to get really clear on why your book stands out from all the free Instagram, all the free YouTube, all the other books that are like yours on Amazon so that your book stands out and actually solves their problem. And this is e-commerce 101. All right. So think about like Etsy. Like if you're like looking for like a leather belt on Etsy and you find a leather belt on Etsy, but the listing looks like crap and it's like a leather belt and it's like frayed and doesn't look right and you're like, this isn't for me. This is probably what's happening with your target market. They look at your book and they're like, I don't understand what this book is about, so they don't buy. E-commerce 101. We want to send traffic to a book with a market first title and cover. It needs to have at least 100 reviews. It's got great back cover copy and a great Amazon listing, also known as your Amazon profile, right? And when we send traffic, the right traffic to a great listing, that will convert. But the right traffic sent to a book with none of those things, it won't convert. So it's not even about your Amazon ads. It's not even about your Facebook ads. It's nothing about that. It's about making sure your book square one is good to go first. and then we send targeted traffic. All right. Any questions? I wish the Substack chat, I can't see any of the comments. I'm sorry, y'all. Um, so if there are any other comments, just leave them in the comments underneath this later. Okay. And I don't see anything from Zoom. So I'm getting the feeling that we're tracking. And if we're not tracking, please leave a comment, please leave a question, and we will have a discussion. All right. Anita says, you're doing great. Awesome. I'm loving that this is landing for you guys. So let's talk now about the 5 components to an outstanding Amazon profile. And I like to call it a profile, not just a listing, because when we think about all the branding value that you're investing in across your social media channels, your Instagram profile, your LinkedIn profile, your Substack profile, your book on Amazon is, and if it's if a piece of authority of your brand, it has the same, if not higher branding value than all your social media accounts. And if your Amazon profile looks like crap, it does not look compelling, it's not designed to convert, then that's going to be a tarnish on your brand. And so we need to be prepared. So during that runway time, we're preparing your Amazon profile for launch. So when traffic comes, they're like, oh my gosh, this book is for me. It looks amazing. It's going to solve my problem. Purchase, add to cart, right? So there's 5 major components. We'll get in. We'll skim over these. But number 1 is your book cover, like we talked about that. Number 2, your book title and your subtitle. So Amy Porterfield here on the bottom left, she has a highly targeted title and subtitle. Who is she targeting? Corporate women who want to quit their job, make more money, work where they want, and change the world, right? Boom, 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 and boom. All right. And so that's how her book has done so well and has grown her business, because the title and subtitle are targeted. She has tons of reviews, and I highly recommend any author, doesn't matter if you're traditionally publishing, indie publishing, you have at least 100 reviews on your book title, on your book. That is authority, if not more. Like, if you're like 100 reviews, easy peasy, absolutely great. Okay. That's good. Okay. Number 4, your book description. It's like going on Amazon and purchasing something that you're like, well, is this for me? So you use every single piece of this book description as sales copy to help your traffic convert. And then finally, we have supplemental content, which I call, like, we have graphics here. And Amy Porterfield has done a great job with graphics. We have editorial reviews. Yeah, send your book to your famous friends. Like Beth here, she sent out her book to members of her network to get back an editorial review. And she now puts this on her Amazon profile, and you're using what's called OPI, or other people's influence. Very powerful in authorship, right? And then finally, problem number 4, you are trying to sell your book anywhere and everywhere. And that is like the feeling of like, you're just throwing spaghetti at the wall, people. And that is, I would say, like in the fitness world, that's when you're still learning how to like walk on a treadmill. That is like, you're not strong with your marketing. Great marketing is knowing exactly the right message to tell to the right person at the right time. And we want to be laser focused. We want to save ourselves time. We want to save ourselves energy. We want to save ourselves money and get more ROI out of what we're doing, right? So this is common for a lot of people who, once their book is live, and then they're like, well, like, what do I do now? Like, where do I sell it? And so they go to every networking event that they can, every chamber of commerce meeting that they can, every podcast that will have them, anything that will happen. They're saying, please buy my book, right? And we don't want to be that person, all right? We want an ecosystem. We want our book to be selling on autopilot to the right person, so that everything is working harmoniously. And ultimately, our social media is leading to the podcast, and our podcast is leading back to the book, and our book is leading to our email list, and our email list is leading to our offers, right? So how do we do that? So here's podcasting. So Rachel here was asking about, is podcasting the only thing that you guys do when it comes to marketing? And I'm going to say it's not the only thing, but it's a key backbone to it. Because um, people who read nonfiction books and people who listen to podcasts, it's like 67% of people who, 67% of podcast listeners have purchased a book that they heard about on a podcast. So really strong overlap in terms of audiences. And when people go on the podcast and the podcast host then asks you, well, where can I learn more about you? You just told me about your book. And a lot of people will say, well, great, just follow me on Instagram. And then people follow you on Instagram and then you've lost all momentum with that person. They haven't even joined your email list. So what do you need to do? And you haven't even sold the book. So what do you need to do? I highly recommend selling your book on your podcast. And we do that by creating a bonus strategy. Say this: when you order my book, you will get this bonus. And Valerie's here. We just created her bonus strategy so that when she goes on these podcasts, she's saying, in exchange for purchasing my book, you get this amazing bonus that's not available to anybody else. Just go down to the link in the show notes. And this is the verbatim of what my client that's called Action was on a top 2% podcast. Um, this is the bonus. And so here are some examples of bonus strategies that other clients have used. So this is Beth's. This is my client Shannon's. She repurposed something that she already had. She had this $500 course and was saying, well, this isn't working. I'm not selling it. I'm going to repurpose it as my bonus for my book. And this is exactly how Amy Porterfield does it. She has a bonus strategy that she has on her landing page for her book website, and says, if you purchase the book, great, you get the bonus. Just purchase the book first, enter your information here, wink, wink, and you will get their contact. You'll get their lead. Awesome. And then they have purchased your book and you have captured their lead so you can continue helping them in your flow, right? Kevin says, you never try to sell anyone unless you're already famous. Anita says, this has been amazing. Got to run. Looking forward to tomorrow. Awesome. So great stuff. Now, on your social media. So on your social media, you guys are going to be saying, on your social media, you're not promoting your book there. You're promoting things like, hey, I was on this podcast. And luckily for you, you have the confidence that on the podcast, you have a link in your podcast to go straight to your book. And again, on when you're promoting your speaking and your TV appearances, Beth was on Good Day PA because of her book launch. She is now sharing her TV appearance. And at the end of her TV appearance, she plugged her book and her bonus and says, if you go to this link, you'll get the awesome bonus by purchasing the book, right? And when you purchase the book, so here's the book, everything is pointing back to your book and back to your email list. So inside her book, she has this page inside her book that says, visit this link to get a bonus. And it can be the same bonus. It doesn't have to be the exact same one. It can be the same. It can be a different one. It's up to you. This is what we do inside the one-on-one mentorship and inside Viral Author Academy, is we develop what your bonus strategy is going to look like so that you get people to sell, to join your list, and you can continue serving them and selling to them. All right. So any questions? How this works. This is how you start to see ROI from your book, you guys. This is profitability. This is where it isn't just about the book. It's about the higher value offers, the higher service offers that you get to help people with on a deeper level because of the book, right? And everyone wants that. That's why entrepreneurs are like, I don't want to just write a book just because. I want it to help promote my business, to help more people, right? So, this is how it all works together. This is how everything starts becoming an ecosystem. And a lot of people who are on different podcasts and showing up on TV and doing social media, it feels isolated. But with the book, it really can all start coming together, right? All right. So here is day 2 homework. Yesterday we had homework about what is your story? What is your story? And today is, which problem of the 4 do you see as your main one? Number one was you're marketing your book like your brand. You're just posting your book to social media and hoping it lands. Number two was you're hoping your publisher will do all the heavy lifting for you, right? Is that what number um number three, your title and your cover are confusing? And then number four, you're just everywhere and everywhere. You're just like hoping the world like sees you in your book and you're hoping that it sells, right? Which of the four is yours? And if you answer, put it in the we have a chat thread in our workshop. You will get entered to win a prize. All right. Okay. So let's check this chat thread. And I'm sorry, y'all, on Substack Live. I can't see any of the comments. But I'm checking Zoom chat, and sounds like we're doing good. All right. So tomorrow, you guys, we are talking all about how your story and how we solve these problems plugs into the 10,000 copies book launch system. It's all coming together. Tomorrow, we're going into the details, how it actually works, how you can apply it to your business and to your launch, and how you can become a stronger book marketer and not need a hybrid publisher or a publisher to say yes to you. All right. You're the owner. You're Taylor Swift. You're Dua Lipa. You're the one who's owning your shit. All right. All right. Now, we're going to go into the first invitation for how to get work closer together inside Smokin' Hot Books. And so if this is all resonating with you, I know Rachel here was chomping at the bit to learn more about what it looks like to work together. And this is how we're going to do this. So today we have two main ways to work together. We have one, which is the one-on-one VIP mentorship. And that is there's several things involved. There's three main things. One is book coaching, and this is how we work together to get your book actually into reality, out of your brain and into reality, from the spiritual realm into the material realm, right? So, viral book formula coaching, you will turn your signature method and your story into your book, and you will build magnetism and authority with your writing, all right? Now, this is really great for entrepreneurs who feel like they're running around, busy, don't know what to even begin, but they still want to write their book. Book coaching can be your solution because this is how you hold yourself to your timeline and ensure that you get a quality product here, okay? So there's a lot of books out there that are, it's the entrepreneur who's just word vomiting onto the Word doc and it's not good and it reflects poorly on their brand. But with book coaching, we can ensure that you have a quality product in a timely fashion. Now, book custom launch strategy. So if you're like feeling overwhelmed with like, how do I do this and when, have no fear because we have an offer for you we develop your launch plan with you, right? What does that mean? That we find the blue ocean of your book in the sea of other books like yours on Amazon, and we speak to that blue ocean. We know exactly how to talk about your book in the book description, in the graphics, on the Amazon categories. We know how to make your book pop, all right? We are going to build you a custom launch timeline built in Notion. This is what Valerie and I just did. She knows exactly what to do and when. We're holding each other accountable so that she executes on what she needs to do during that runway season. And we also have we build you a custom pre-order bonus and bulk order strategy. So Valerie and I, we just created her bonus strategy. She was like, what do I even offer to my readers as a bonus? And we worked together to dig into her archives, what she has available, what she can offer quickly and easily and and it's also high impact in a way to help convert podcast listeners and anyone who's seeing her stuff on social media. They want to be a part of her world because they want the bonus. We also build your Amazon bestseller campaign. We put together your review campaign. We put together your strategy for Amazon ads. We put together your strategy with social media, with email nurture sequences. And we also give you a research list of 50 top 10% podcasts to pitch to. They're laser focused. They're designed especially for you. And this is exactly what Valerie and I are doing right now. And we're working together to get her pitched to the right people at the right time. And if you want also execution support, so if once you have your strategy and you're saying, Renee, I'm wanting to hire you guys so that you can actually masterfully execute the Amazon launch for me, I'm a busy individual. I got all these things and I want a master to do this. No problem. This is execution support, 100% done for you. We launch for you. We pitch a podcast for you. We build your book funnel for you. That is also available. This one-on-one VIP mentorship starts at $10K. And if that is something that you are interested in, we can do that. And so I'm going to put the link for applying for that inside the chat. And naturally, I don't have the link for Substack Live. Oh, okay, perfect. Soli's got it going on. She did it. Amazing. Soli's the best. And then for those who are looking for group level mentorship, who are maybe a little more price sensitive, we have group level mentorship, and that is Viral Author Academy. And I'm just going to speed run through this. Viral Author Academy. What is Viral Author Academy? Great question. So, Viral Author Academy is our signature group level mentorship for those who are looking to launch their book successfully using the techniques that we have talked about here. And I'm not even talking about techniques here. I'm talking about you becoming a great book marketer so that you don't need me anymore. So that you can, any book that you launch, you are confident about it. You are confident that you can launch whatever book you want to do. And not even books. You can launch whatever product you want to do. I have not taken a single marketing course since I signed up for this original marketing course because it was so dang good. Because I am teaching you guys how to become so intimately familiar with your customers' problems that you can solve them and you can get close to them and intimate with them. And you now know how to structure your messaging, your offers around your customers. That is marketing strength, marketing prowess. I'm going to teach you how to be that person so that you can be an amazing marketer and you can do amazing marketing things and have a rockin' business. All right. So if you decide to do Viral Author Academy, you get lifetime access to it. Amazing. $2,000 value. Viral Author Academy also includes 2x weekly group coaching. So 2 times a week, I show up for you and I do group coaching with all of you guys. Group coaching is amazing. People are going to have questions you hadn't even thought of. And that's how you're going to get quick. You're going to up level multiplicatively, right? Because people who are like further ahead of you, you're going to start thinking like them. You're going to up level quickly. We also have public speaking and confidence training. And that is actually a huge thing. Many authors want to hide behind their words and the computer and their pens and the ivory. You are about to become a leader. We want you to show up as a leader on Substack Live, on these launches, on podcasts. You need to have great public speaking skills and confidence skills. And we have that training every single month inside of Viral Author Academy. And we also have a private community of ambitious author experts. So you're going to be around other authors who are doing exactly what you're doing, who want exactly what you want. And we are the average of the 5 people we hang around, you guys. So that is, in my opinion, priceless. I pay to be in the right room. And often that is what you need to up level and get the results that you're looking for. Now, here's a fast action bonus. I was sharing this with Rachel just yesterday. If you guys enroll by tonight, so this is a fast action bonus. If you're like chomping at the bit, I know Rachel was, and you're like, I want to get in. Great. We got a bonus for you if you do decide to enroll by tonight. We have a swipe file of proven book launch email sequences for your launch. All right. So basically everything that I've used, my clients have used, adapted for you. And you just have to take this and plug and play for you. And if you're like, I don't know what to do, no problem. Just show up to the group coaching calls and we got you. We got you. We're going to plug and play. It's easy. All right. So you get that bonus if you enroll by tonight. Amazing, amazing. $499 value. Great stuff. And so total value of Viral Author Academy, $9,500. Wow, amazing stuff. And so your investment, so we're definitely going to be raising the price of Viral Author Academy throughout the year. It started as $500, folks. It is now at $2,997. And we're so excited. The value is so great. And this is going to be a great time to enroll because, well, I mean, I just think about the price and it's just the value. You get lifetime access, to all updates, and the value is just increasing all the time. And you get to get on the ground level of this amazing training program. All right. So So Lee has put the link for enrolling in Viral Author Academy here. I'm going to see if I can put it here. Um, so